What's up, YouTube? So it's been a while. Usually been a while because I post sporadically. I'd like to post more often, but unfortunately that's just not the way of the world. So there's been a big change in the state of my garage. One of the cars is gone and it's been replaced with something else. So this video is kind of going to be showing that new addition and kind of the plans we have for it. I think it's really cool. The title of this video probably tells you what it is, so we're just going to hop right into it. There she is. Here's my new, to me, 1955 Ford Customline. As you can see, the Mustang is gone. To be honest, I kind of just lost interest in the Mustang. You know, I've been tinkering with that car for about a year and a half now, and at the end of the day, it's just a new Edge Mustang. So it was time to change it up a little bit, and a buddy of mine bought this car a couple years ago. He hasn't done anything with it, so it was one of those things that he wanted to get back into a more modern car. I said, I'll trade you. So what happened was, a couple weeks ago, I made the decision to move the Stang. Originally, I wanted to build a T-bucket, and I happened across this car, as I mentioned. I think I made the right choice, and you'll see why in just a minute. It is a survivor, and I think it's going to be an awesome car. I had a lot of different ideas for this car of what I could or could not do. At the end of the day, from the research that I've done and the condition of this car as is, I'm going to have to leave it as is. We're going to get it running and driving. I'm going to clean up the body a little bit, maybe obviously throw some tires on it and stuff like that, but I think we're going to leave it all as is. So let's dig into it. So as you may or may not know, I don't do a whole lot with the old stuff. This is even before the generation that I'd be familiar with. I'm more up on, you know, the 70s, early 70s, late 60s hot rods, Chevelles, Novas, that kind of thing, up to the modern stuff like the Corvettes, the Mustangs, and so on. This is before that. This still runs on a 6-volt ignition system, very basic in the operation of essentially everything on the car. But yeah, you know, when I bought it, it is all original from 1955. 2-barrel carb, 272 cubic inch V8 engine. I even have the original oil bath air cleaner, and I didn't even know what that was. Apparently it was a pretty common thing back on the older vehicles, especially trucks from this era. Essentially, it's an air filter that sits on the carb that is full of oil, and the air gets filtered through, and the dust and dirt gets stuck in the oil. It's really cool. It's a really cool thought. It's a really cool idea, design, etc. But you don't see that anymore that I'm aware of. So this is the original engine, and here's the kicker. 22,300 original miles on this car. So the story goes that the original owner bought it, he passed away, and it's set in the garage for the next 20 plus years until a local gentleman bought it for his son to build and fix up and drive, right? So unfortunately, tragically, the son started working on it and he passed away in a car accident. And again, the car sat in a garage for the next 20 plus years. And then the guy I bought it from bought it about 2 years ago, and it's sat in his garage since. So everything on this car is the same as the day it came out in 1955. I have the original title that was given with this car in 1955. I know the previous 2 owners. I have their names, their addresses. I have the original manual that came with this car. I have the original sales flyer that came out with this car. This is really cool. I love the history behind it. You can see here where the last antifreeze service was officially done on 11/8 of 1956. That's so cool. I mean, there's so much history in this car. The paint is original. The trim is original. All this rust that you see on the side here is nothing but surface rust. There is not a bit of rusted through spots underneath or above. All the floor pans, the trunk pan, all of it is perfect. The paint itself, obviously, you know, it's from the 50s. It's obviously set outside at some point. But what I did, I took some 1500 grit and I wet sanded this a little bit, and it takes the majority of that rust right off. What I'm thinking is I'm going to spend the next few days, few weeks, strictly just cleaning up what I've got. What could it look like after just a simple wet sand? You can't really tell here, but I just grabbed my buffing wheel real quick and threw on a little bit of polish and just seen what would come up. But this little spot here, I mean, it's not even, it's a 1x6 inch spot that I buffed out, and it's already shiny. So I think this could look really cool as is, you know. We'll clean it up. I'll put some new tires on it. I may go ahead and restore the wheels. That's easy enough for me to do. And I will throw in some carpet. This came out with vinyl floor back in 1955. And as you can see, the age has dried it out and cracked it, and it's essentially gone. And the same with the trunk back there. But they do make the full carpet kits for these cars, and why not, you know? I'll throw in some carpet to match all this blue, and I think it'll look fantastic. Let me know what you think. But all the glass is perfect in the car. Everything works as it should. I threw in a 6-volt battery, and all the lights work, which is really cool. You got your lights there. Down to the floor, you have your high beam and low beam wipers. These obviously didn't come out with air conditioned, to my knowledge. You may know more than I do, but they had little vents that you could open, left air and right air, and that allowed air to come into the car from the front. So that was your air condition back in the 50s. This one has been retrofitted with a heater right here. It has 2 settings, a high and a low, and it blows air. Right there's the opening, and you can pull it out, and then it works as a defrost. It's so cool. You know, we take for granted everything that we've got in the vehicles now, and this is just so different. But the entire dash is in fantastic shape. Most of this will clean right up and shine like new. This is the worst in here, and luckily that little piece is separate, so I can fix that. The ceiling needs cleaned, but the roof, the headliner, there you go, needs cleaned, but it's in great shape. It's not sagging, it's not ripped, it's not burnt. It's perfect. I mean, try to find a better survivor than this. And then another cool thing I was informed about is these seats are original from 1955, and they have the original fabric. You can't buy this fabric anymore. People don't make it. This is one of a kind anymore, and these are in perfect shape. You know, they have some dirt in them, but that can all be cleaned. So those will be staying, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it's such a cool car. So let me move back up to the front and kind of fill you in on where I'm at the moment on this car. Okay, so I brought this car home 2 days ago. In that 2-day period, I haven't done a whole lot. My main goal right now is to see if I can get this original engine and transmission running. Oh, by the way, it is a 3 on the tree. Really cool. I've actually never driven one. I've seen them I just now learned how it worked. Think of a floor shifter on its side, and there you go. It's really neat. But I'm working on it to try to get this original engine and transmission running. Obviously, it's going to need some tuning. So the first thing you do, you need three things to have an engine start. You need fuel, you need air, and you need spark, right? Obviously, we're getting air. We should be getting fuel. We were not getting spark. So here is, this is the original ignition coil from 1955. It's metal. The ones you buy these days are all plastic, but that was not putting out spark. So we got out I've already put some of the tools away, but we got out the multimeter to see what kind of voltage we were getting. Obviously it's a new battery. So now with the new coil, we're getting 6 volts on either side of the coil, and we are now getting 6.5 volts coming out of the lug on the new coil. But we still weren't getting spark from the coil through the wire, which this is probably original as well. But these, well, they don't fit any longer. They just slide in and out. So at this point, I'm at a standstill. I could go to a auto parts store and buy a universal kit for the wires, but I'm not going to do that. So I've already placed an order for a new set of wires that fit this car. We're going to go ahead and put in new spark plugs. I took the spark plug out, or I took one of the spark plugs out. It actually looked good, but you know, they were very old. So we're going to replace those spark plug wires. We're going to put a new cap on it, a new rotor, a new set of points, and a new condenser. And kind of see what we got from there. What I want to happen here is I want to hear it fire. Once it fires, you know, we can dig from there. But I'm hoping that this engine is not going to need pulled out and rebuilt, because how cool it would be, you know, if you can tune this up to the point where we're driving around on our original 20,000 miles with the original engine and transmission, and it's never been out of this car. I mean, that is awesome. So right now, that is the goal. I'm at a standstill till about Wednesday or Thursday, which is, what, 4 days from now? 4 days from the time I'm recording this video. And once I get those parts in, we will pick it back up, and I will actually start recording that process. I didn't record when I went to get the car. I didn't record when I started tinkering with it, simply because at the time I didn't know what I wanted to do. But my mind has been made up, as of right now, that we are going to drive an original car here, just fix up some odds and ends. But it's really cool. I'd love to know what you think as a viewer. I mean, do you think it's a cool car? Do you not think it's a cool car? Do you think I should leave it original and drive it as is? Do you think I should say screw it, throw some bags on it, do a coyote swap, and more of a pro tour type car? Because that was originally what I wanted to do until I started digging. And I seen all the history with the car and seen how original it was. The term survivor has been used on some cars lately in the automotive news. I think this fits that profile perfectly. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. But I think that'll do it for this video. I just wanted to kind of make a quick video letting you all know, or those that watch these videos, that the Mustang is gone. The 55 Ford is here. The next series of videos is probably going to be on this 55 Ford. I was going to do some stuff with the Corvette, but the Corvette's a Corvette. I mean, it's good to go as is. I don't really need to do anything at the moment. So 55 Ford content is going to happen. It's going to happen fairly quick because I really want to drive this car. It'd be awesome to have it as a daily driver. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As I said, I'd love to know your thoughts on what I should do with it, or what you think I should do with it, because at the end of the day, I've already made my mind up. But I'm curious what you think. If you like the video, hit that like button below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Until next time.